my name's Kim. I've been reflecting on judgment recently. Judgment of others and others' judgment of you. And the scrambling to keep in place a facade or self-image that's really just a cardboard cutout. Since last week, I've found myself apologising to people. Not to be forgiven, though that has happened, but because I've clearly felt and seen where I've been a terrible daughter and sister and friend. Where I've pushed people away, kept them at a distance, not let them in. Tried to, in inverted commas, protect myself by judging them, blaming them, for things that were my responsibility to take on. I had a conversation with Aratima a while ago. She rightly called me out on something. My knee-jerk reaction had been to rationalise and make excuses, to explain why something wasn't my fault, with no thought of the implication that had for others. How that made others appear to be lying, without admitting my impulse, which had been to be forgiven, to be reassured that I wasn't wrong or bad. As Aratima so rightly said, the emotional state of my words was not truth. In that moment I had been serving ego, serving untruth. It was not speaking with integrity. It was a shying away from impeccability and truth. This has been a lifelong habit. I still feel it happening now, and I'm trying to catch myself as it happens. I was always very sensitive as a child, to tone, to harshness, to being judged. I couldn't understand how others seemed to brush things off so easily that would have crushed me. I was bullied in school and always felt everything so very, very deeply. I now know I was very sensitive to energy and could see and hear people's thoughts and feelings and motivations and unconscious non-alignment, which confused me. I grew up into a very sensitive adult, slowly building a wall of protection and judgment around me. I spent years trying to understand. I did a lot of healing and spiritual courses, many of which spoke of love, but there was no true surrender, no openness. Love was a giving from me to you, or a sharing from me to you. There was always judgment, a judgment of others for judging them, or a judgment for not being the same as them. Aratima's teaching is so different. It's not from ego. She teaches and embodies a constant surrender to the true self, to the core, to source. Love as being, love as love, love as isness. I'm a remedial student, I'm very slow, but I will continue to be in the Wisdom Life School as long as she teaches it. I'm grateful to begin to really see and understand how judgmental I have been. Judgment is a way to keep people at a distance, to feel different from them, to separate yourself from them, separate yourself from pain. Or try to at least, though it doesn't really work, as it only causes you more pain and suffering. It causes your heart to close, which cuts you off from connection, from love, from all the things your heart yearns for and desires. As my heart is opening, I'm feeling all of this, feeling things I'd not allowed myself to feel for years, didn't even know that I did feel. For example, I've never thought I wanted to have kids. I was always adamant. But these past couple of days, I've felt grief moving through me for the children I will never have, and the children of the world. This all feels to be part of opening up to living, learning to be a sensitive person with heart open without judgment. As Aratima has said to me in the past about my seeing, I'm able to clearly see things and know things. Now I need to walk across the bridge of compassion and meet people where they are. This is the key. It's not seeing and knowing from a safe distance, separate, but walking across that bridge to connection, to community, to relating. allowing people to be who they are and loving them without agenda. People are at their best when sharing and connecting with others. One of the beautiful things about the current lockdown in the UK, and I'm sure around the world, is the sense of community that is springing up. People really looking after others, checking in, connecting. One beautiful thing that has happened to me as a result of posting my first podcast was that a dear friend who I've known for decades, who dropped me as a friend a few years ago because of my spiritual arrogance and judgment and all-round rubbishness as a friend, got back in touch and told me they were so happy for me that this shift happened that they cried. We're going to meet up once the lockdown is lifted, which makes me very happy. With everything that's going on at the moment, on the surface and on deeper levels, it's more and more important to be connected with open heart and to love and be love. It's what I want to be. Thank you for listening.